Alright, back at Pixie Industries today. We've been using these GLS30 poles with a 1 metre extension in some pretty rough country, pretty horrible looking bush and rocks and stuff. And we've smashed out the bottom of the little hole there, and that's a temporary fix in the field. Just put a couple of these silver rings on it just to hold it at the right level and stop it smashing out anymore, which has kept it good for 3 weeks while my piece of aluminium tubes arrived. So we're just going to cut it off and make a sleeve and cut the hole in there the same size, probably chop off about that much, and then just glue it into that spot. It means we won't be able to put the bracket quite as high, they'll be low slung, but I've been given permission to buy 2 new ones, but we'll see if we can sleeve these up and have them as spares, and then if we're doing some more of this horrible bushwork, we can get a pipe inside diameter of 32, bought it off eBay, about 20 bucks I think, and it looks like that's going to be a pretty good fit. It's nice, slides pretty nicely on there. Looks like we might have just enough room for a bit of glue in between, and I'll figure out what size that hole is in a second. We'll pull her apart and then go from there. Never had the pleasure of pulling one of these apart. You pull that cap right off, and then there's this little piece that goes here, don't lose that, and then you basically just pull the pipe all the way out, and then as it comes close to the end, just get your hand ready to catch a little spring and a little black clip. There is he. This one's still pretty wet. Yep, so there it is. So you just put your finger over that and then just release it, and that should come out. You can see how muddy it is in this one. It's pretty gross. Fun times. Those of you playing at home might recognise this bit from an earlier video where I made one out of a piece of old tap, I think. So the actual hole in the pole, she's coming in about 12 millimeters exactly. So that's what we'll drill it at. It's pretty important to get this top dead center, this first hole. I'm just doing a pilot here. So what I'm doing is I'm getting the calipers and I'm lining it up with the side of the vise here, and then on the other side you can see she's a bit short, so if it's going to sit there, get a little vise with the 2 rotating things, so we're going to rotate that half. So we'll bring it back half. Which way? This way. Bring that back half. Have a look. Yeah, a couple of mil over. So I'll adjust the calipers to make that re-even. Make sure they're good on both sides, and that's how we're going to middle in on the top of the pipe. Got it right. Just be careful, my drills have this little leading edge here. Got to make sure you're not hitting that, but you can see I've got it perfectly there and perfectly on the other side, so I'm dead center. Pop a bit of lube on it and we'll start drilling, I reckon. So once again, my tiny little drill press has let me down. 12mm drill, it's too low in the hole for me to fit the pipe through. So I'll have to just hand drill them very carefully. Okay, there's my 4 holes drilled. Haven't come up all super neat, but I think they'll be okay. Just using the old paper trick to get a nice line for me to cut. Just wrap the paper around and keep that edge straight, and pencil a line in on the edge of the paper, and you'll have some nice way to cut with the grinder. Alright, so we're just going to use the old poor man's lathe. You can pick these up on Temu or eBay, pretty cheap. And there we go, maybe a bit fast. Look at that variable speed. There we go. What you might have seen me do at the end there if she'll focus. I just scratched up the inside a little bit so the glue's got something to stick to. It's quite shiny in there now because I'm going to glue it on. I might even do a little bit more of that just to make it really sticky. But yeah, you can see got a nice edge there. Come up pretty good. So there we go. Mixed up a bit of araldite and glued it on. Should be ready to go. There we go. All finished. Squeezing it down. Do have to push them in a little bit further, but functional again. Come up pretty nice.